Hello everyone, I welcome you all on this YouTube channel, the UPSC TV by RS, and here myself Rahul, and I am going to present the Hindu newspaper dated 2nd of August 2020, and we are going to cover the Hindu newspaper for your public administration optional for UPSC civil services examination. And before moving on further, let me tell you this thing that I have launched the current affairs magazine for your public administration optional for UPSC civil services examination. Yes, the current affair magazine have been launched, so you can basically purchase the copy, you can book the copy, you can get the copy of your magazine right away. You can simply click on the link given in the description box below, and after clicking on the link you will get the PDF, you will get some sort of screenshots of the PDF as well, and the PDF is of about 50 pages, and apart from that there are 20 chapters in that particular PDF, in that particular magazine. 20 chapters are basically designed in the light of UPSC CSE public administration optional syllabus. Okay, so for example, in your syllabus, if administrative behavior is an unit, then in the magazine also you will get one unit called administrative behavior, and the current affairs of administrative behaviors are administrative behavior unit are given in that particular chapter only. For example, in July month there was the news with respect to Narendra Modi ji visiting Ladakh, so that thing was under the category of morale, and that thing is given in your magazine as well with a proper linkage with your current affairs and static portion. Similarly, in our law and order administration we have around 10 news articles that we have covered, right from Bikash Dubey encounter is something that you will get in the magazine. Apart from that, you will also get the other topics like you will get the topics like you can say riot management in the light of Delhi riots. You will get the topic called mob lynching as per the, you can say, syllabus, as per the Supreme Court guidelines. All these things are given. Okay, apart from that, other things are there. Whatever I am covering in the newspaper analysis, you will get the compilation of all those things along with extra inputs. For example, there are many things that were there in the past, but I have not covered those things in the newspaper analysis because we have started this thing in the month of July only. So for previous analysis also, for previous topics also, you can purchase that magazine. The link is given in the description box. Kindly go to the link, click on the link and go to that particular website on that platform. You have to do nothing, just write your details while doing the payment. Simply, just like Amazon and other Flipkart and other e-commerce website, you have to book the copy, and you will get, at the end of the payment, you will get one download link. Okay, and by clicking on that download link you will be able to download the PDF, and apart from that you will also get an email from my side, and you will get the PDF from that particular email as well. So there are two ways, and the payment is done by only one way, but after doing the payment you will get the PDF from two ways. Okay, either from first way or from the second way. Okay, so this is very easy and you can try it out, and let's begin with the Hindu dated 2nd of August 2020. So if you just scroll down, what all are the important articles that you have to read from the Hindu newspaper. So if you just scroll down, today is Sunday, so we are covering the 2nd August analysis. So it was Sunday, so that's why you can just see the lack of articles are there. So if you just keep scrolling, you will get there was the article with respect to National Human Rights Commission. So let me just find out that article so that I can tell you that what you have to read with respect to that article. One second guys. I have highlighted it earlier, but there is one article that you if you just see over here, plea in Supreme Court against contempt law. You have to read this particular article, and on the FAQ page also there is the article. If you can see over here, here we have this article, courting controversy, this article, subject of contempt of the court. Okay, so this particular article is something that you can read easily. Okay, there is nothing called rocket science in reading this, because we have covered this thing in the month of July only. Okay, in the July itself we have covered it in a very detailed manner. Okay, in very detailed manner, so you can basically refer to that video instead of reading it, but you can read it also. Okay, so this is something that you should know, contempt of the court, and this is also covered in the magazine of July 2020 itself. Okay, apart from that, apart from contempt of the court, there was the article with respect to Karnataka Human Rights Commission. So let me find out that article so that I can tell you that how can you read that article. One second guys, I am unable to find out that article because of certain things. Okay, so this is there, human right panel file case against government. So human right, basically Karnataka Human Right Commission, Karnataka State Human Right Commission, KSHRC, it has booked a case against the state government, that state government is showing the kind of negligence and the kind of ignorance when it comes to COVID-19 cases. Okay, so as you can see, the condition is worsening day by day and government is not doing anything. So this is something that Human Right Commission is saying, Human Right Panel is saying. Okay, so in this light, this is very important for us to read about Human Right Commission. Why it is important? Because if you read your syllabus in your public administration paper 2, public administration paper 2 has a unit, has the topic called significant issues of administration, where you will get National Human Rights Commission and State Human Rights Commission. And in the previous years also, in different years, like in 2004, UPSC asked the question with respect to the, you can say, inefficiency of human rights commissions, and in 2009 UPSC has asked this question with respect to the, you can say, the kind of you can say the kind of advantages or the kind of, you can say, positive aspects of Human Rights Commission, and the question was like on the positive side. In 2004 it was on the negative side. So you can understand that UPSC has asked this question in the previous years. So in this light, let us understand and let's cover this thing in a very detailed manner. So if you just try to understand, and apart from that, one more context is there which will make this topic very important for your UPSC CSE 2020. And yes, we are talking about the Protection of Human Right Act. Protection of Human Right Act. This act, or you can say this previous act of 1993 was amended recently in 2019. So in this light as well, this becomes really very important for your UPSC CSE 2020. UPSC might ask the question from the context of Protection Human Rights Act, or it can ask the question with respect to the examining the, you can say, role of this body, because in GS also they are asking the questions like this, and in public administration also they are basically asking from the silos domain. Okay, that in one year they have asked the positive side, in another year they are asking the negative side. So here let us cover both the things. First of all, we will cover the Protection of Human Rights Act, and then we will cover and we will analyze the entire Human Rights Commission, its background, as well as the powers as well as the limitation, and we will also cover the way forward, and we will use this Drishti IAS website, and here we are going to use the insights. Okay, and insight is itself, it is, they are using the Hindu newspaper. Okay, so there is a kind of, you can say, the word is circular in shape. Okay, so let's try and understand, and let's try to understand the important provisions of Protection of Human Rights Act 2019. Okay, now it is not bill, now it is passed from both the houses of the parliament, so it is an act. So let's cover this thing in a very detailed manner. So if you just scroll down, basically there are salient features. So what are the salient features of the bill? So let me read out these things for you. So before going into the salient features, what you can do, you can just divide this thing, that salient features, you can divide the things into 3 to 4 domains. For example, we will talk about NHRC, we will talk about SHRC, we will talk about, you can say, the powers and secretary, and we will talk about some other aspect. Okay, so in this way you can just understand. So in NHRC we are talking about 2 to 3 things. Okay, first one is the chairperson, second one is the, you can say, members, and third thing is with respect to the term and other things. Okay, so here when it comes to the composition under the act, the chairperson of NHRC is a person who has been a Chief Justice of Supreme Court. The bill amend this. Earlier what happened was that the chairperson, okay, in context of chairperson if we talk about, earlier it was written that the person who has been a Chief Justice of Supreme Court, but as you know that Chief Justice are very less in number. If you just try to analyze the number of Chief Justices, the ex Chief Justices, you will get they are very less, because Chief Justice is something which is a, you can say, kind of top of pyramid. Okay, and in that also you will get that Chief Justices are joining the houses of the parliament, okay, legislature, executive, whatever. So in that context also you can understand that already they are less in number, because they are the part of the you can say peak of the pyramid, and apart from that they are joining the political parties as well, so it further reduces the number. Okay, so there was the problem, and if you just try to analyze with the perspective and background as well, many state governments have basically filed this complaint. They were complaining about this thing, that they are unable to get this kind of analysis. Like for example, in SHRC also there was the provision that the person has been a Chief Justice of High Court, and in this light state governments were requesting or complaining about this thing, that we are unable to find out such kind of people because they are very less in number. So in this context the bill amended both SHRC and NHRC perspective, and here you can see now the person who has been a Chief Justice or Judge of High Court will be eligible. Similarly here also they have written either the person who has been a Chief Justice, the earlier provision, plus or a Chief Justice, or you can say the Judge of Supreme Court. I hope you are getting. So composition of NHRC means chairman perspective, composition of SHRC chairman perspective. Apart from that, member perspective. This is the second pyramid. Okay, just try to remember this diagram flow chart. Okay, now inclusion of women member. So here inclusion of women member is there, and apart from that the bill amends this to allow 3 members to be appointed, which be at least one will be women. Okay, so here you can see the kind of things. Women member will be included. Okay, 3 members. Apart from that, other members. So there is a kind of, you can say, further addition at National Human Rights Commission perspective level. Okay, so under this act, the chairperson of various commission, okay, now the chairperson of various commission like National Commission of Scheduled Caste, National Commission of Scheduled Tribe, and National Commission of Women are member of the SHRC. Earlier these are the 3 members, but now as in the background we have National Commission of Backward Classes. It has been created recently, so now the chairperson of that, and apart from that National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights and Chief Commissioner for Person with Disability, these were also included in the member list. Okay, I hope you are getting. Just try to remember this timeline. Here when it comes to amendment, when it comes to salient feature, you can divide NHRC, SHRC and term of condition. So NHRC we have talked about member perspective, we have talked about, you can say, chairman perspective. In SHRC we also talked about chairman perspective. Now term of office. So earlier the term was, you can say, the act states that the chairperson and the member of the SHRC and NHRC will hold the office for 5 years or till the age of the 70 years. Earlier it was there, whichever is earlier, so it was there in the original, but now the bill, this particular new act reduces the term of office to 3 years. Okay, so there is a fixation, or 70 years, whichever is earlier. So there is a kind of reduction from earlier 5 years to now 3 years. Okay, and this is the problem with the RTI amendment also. In RTI amendment, government has not even say that 3 years is there. They have only basically removed the 5-year thing, and now government will decide you can say not randomly, but while appointing the person. Such kind of scenario is there, but still something short of 3 years, 4 years, 2 year, 1 year, it is not there in the RTI Amendment Act that has been passed recently in the parliament. Okay, so just try to remember these nitty-gritties. Apart from that, power of Secretary General. So act provide for the Secretary General of NHRC and the Secretary of SHRC with executive power as will be delegated, as may be delegated to them, and bill amend that and allows the Secretary General and exercise all administrative and financial power. Earlier what happened that they have executive power and delegated executive power, but now they have administrative as well as the financial power. And note this thing that judicial power, judicial functions are not there. Okay, and subjected to respective chairperson's control. And the another provision is with respect to union territories. Okay, this is very important. Earlier what happened was that for UTs the union territory have to reach out to NHRC. Okay, NHRC, because NHRC is for national level and UTs are something that are centrally administered. But now what happen is that they can approach the, you can say, nearby you can say state as well. Okay, for example, Puducherry is, you can say, UT. So earlier what happened was that in case of any human right violation or something like that, they have to reach out to New Delhi for NHRC. NHRC तो न्यू दिल्ली में है, तो वहाँ जाना पड़ता था. But now what they can do basically now after this amendment, they can basically go to the nearby state of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, or something like that. Okay, I hope you are getting this point. Okay, so for remembering and for you can say just remembering, for the remembering perspective, you can simply divide this thing into 4 categories. One is talking about NHRC, second is talking about SHRC, third is talking about term of reference, fourth is talking about, you can say, the Secretary General, and then it is one point is UT. Okay, and in this context you can remember, you can use this diagram also if you want in your examination. Apart from that, benefits, so you can just understand the things that now it is easier to find the chairperson because of you can say more people are eligible for that category. And apart from that, it is a kind of perfect sync with the agreed global standards, for example Paris Principle. So the source is The Hindu and my source is Insights. Okay, so this is all about the amendment. This is very important for you to remember this thing. Apart from that, if you just try to understand the analysis part, the examining part, so these are the nitty-gritties, but here we are not going to discuss the polity things. We are going to cover the functions, power, and then the limitation, and the credit goes to Drishti IAS. Okay, so now here NHRC, what are the functions of NHRC? So just try to remember this thing, that when it comes to NHRC, SHRC, or any kind of body which is talking about you can say human rights or something like that, for example National Commission of Women or something like that, they are very, you can say, generic content. They are very generic content, means that they are basically, all these bodies are going to investigate the grievances. All these bodies have the power to interfere in the judicial proceedings. Okay, for example, when you will become the DM, district magistrate, after cracking UPSC CSE, or if you will become the IPS after cracking UPSC civil services examination, you have to witness the kind of interference in the proceedings in your work from these NHRC, these National Commission of Women, National Commission of Protection of Child Right, National Commission of OBC, and all these bodies will interfere. They will ask the question to you that submit the action taking report, submit the report, and you have to submit the report to all these bodies, National Commission to SCs, STs, and it becomes really, you can say, you will become this create a kind of फ्यूज्ड सोसाइटी ऑफ फ्रेड डब्ल्यू रिक्स. जो फ्रेड डब्ल्यू रिक्स का होता है ना कि एक ही पर्सन एवरी फंक्शन इज बीइंग परफॉर्म्ड बाय द सेम स्ट्रक्चर, सो इट विल फर्दर मेक you more fused society. Okay, so I hope you are getting. On a lighter note, I am saying this thing, just try to remember this thing. And apart from that, it can visit any jail, or all those things are there. Apart from that, it can review the safeguard provided under the constitution, means the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, whatever. Okay, apart from that, NHRC undertakes and promotes research in the field of human rights. Okay, Apart from that, it works to separate the human right literacy, means they will create the kind of awareness among the people by advertisement, by you can say promoting awareness, by protecting the rights and publication, media, seminars and other means. Apart from that, commission takes an independent stand while providing the opinion. Apart from that, it has the power of civil court as well, remember this thing, and can grant interim relief. So it has the power of civil court as well. It has the authority to recommend payment of compensation damage, so they can give the judgment as well, because court power means that they can give the punishment, and punishment also means that they can ask the people to compensate or do something short of that thing. And apart from that, NHRC credibility is duly reflected in the large number of the complaints received. Okay, so these are the nitty-gritties that you should know when it comes to NHRC. Apart from that, what are the limitations? So UPSC has already asked this question in 2009 for public administration optional paper 2. So if you just read out the limitation of NHRC, NHRC does not have mechanism of investigation. In majority cases, it asks the concerned state government to do the things. Okay, so just try to remember this thing. I told you na that NHRC will ask, they will interfere in the investigation, but they are not the sovereign body na. They are not the sovereign body, they are not the elected body, they do not have the, because in our constitution is for the people, of the people, by the people. Okay, I hope you are getting. So be the people of India, and be the people of India is the source of the constitution, source of all the powers. So be the people of India, we have given the power to the parliamentarians, to the representatives of the Lok Sabha and state legislative assembly. So ultimately, and these people, these representatives, they are handling the police is a sovereign function. So all these things are under the control of police. Okay, because it is a sovereign function. So NHRC do not have this power. Okay, this is ultimate thing that you should remember. Apart from that, it has been termed as India's teasing illusion. Remember this thing. Soli Sorabji committee says this thing, that they are India's teasing illusion due to its incapacity to render any practical relief to the aggrieved party. They are teasing illusion. They are toothless tiger, teasing illusion. These are the keywords that you should write in your public administration paper while writing the answer, that these are toothless tiger, they are teasing illusion. Underline this teasing illusion in order to get extra marks for your public administration, or for that matter in your GS as well. Apart from that, NHRC can also make recommendation without the power to enforce decision. They have the recommendatory power. They have the advisory role. They cannot enforce the decision, and many times NHRC is viewed as the post-retirement destinations. They are the post-retirement destination of the judges, and this will create the political affiliation as well. Because why? Because this is the NHRC. Let's say this is NHRC and a judge is there, and now this is the role of executive to appoint the chairperson in the NHRC. Okay, so now when this judge is working in the Supreme Court or High Court for that matter, so they know this thing, that if they give the judgments in the favor of this executive, this political party, the political party will help, and it will, you can say, they will give the kind of favor when it comes to the post-retirement benefits. Okay, and that post-retirement benefits can be considered as one of the, you can say, post-retirement benefit is the appointment in the NHRC or SHRC. So this is also a kind of thing, conflict of interest might be there. Okay, apart from that, large number of grievances go unaddressed because NHRC cannot investigate, and this is the problem. Apart from that, government often outrightly reject recommendation. Government rejects because there is a kind of recommendation perspective. Apart from that, State Human Rights Commission cannot call for information from the national government. if SHRC is there, they cannot call the information to the national government because their ambit is state government only. Okay, so here they can not even request. Okay, so other things you can just ignore. You can just imagine the kind of situation they are witnessing. Apart from that, NHRC power relates to violation of human rights by armed forces have been largely restricted. And when it comes to armed forces, you can just understand that even in your constitution and they are protected from all those things. Okay, so fundamental rights are there, but if you just read the exceptional clauses like article and this 31, 32, 33 and all 31, 32. Okay, so so all these things you will notice in your public administration, or you can say in your general polity or constitution. Okay, just try to remember these things and use these keywords that we have covered, like the teasing illusion mentioned by Soli Sorabji committee, and other like toothless tiger and post-mortem effect, post-retirement benefits analysis. You can, and apart from that post-mortem, you can say that they are basically post-mortem body that will do something after something has been done. Okay, so this is something that you should mention. Apart from that, when it comes to suggestion to improve NHRC, SHRC, there is a need to complete revamping of NHRC to make it more effective, and there is a need to do this thing. Apart from that, NHRC efficacy can be enhanced by the government, and apart from that, there can be a change in the composition of the commission. Okay, by including civil society member and activist, which is not there as of now. Apart from that, NHRC needs to develop the independent cadre of staff with appropriate experience, because independence of you can say members is very important, because as of now we have covered these issues. Apart from that, one issue is politicization as well. Okay, you will find that there are commissions which are, you can say, you will find this thing if you analyze the working, the way the commissions are working. I'm not taking the name of any commission, but if you just try it out, if you just try to find out the Twitter handle of the so-called commissions and all, you will find that there is a kind of politicization. Okay, you will find that that they are basically tilted towards a particular ideology, particular political party or something like that. All these things are there, and you cannot deny these things. Okay, apart from that, to improve and strengthen the human right situation in India, state or non-state actors need to work in tandem. Okay, so these things are there. I hope you are getting, I hope you will use the keywords. Okay, don't try to remember everything. Okay, the ultimate thing that you should and the ultimate takeaway for you is to remember the keywords. Okay, keywords is very important. Those keywords will help you to get good marks, and at the same time they will help you to remember the things as well. Okay, for example, if I ask you to remember the, or to write the salient features, I will tell something about NHRC. In NHRC, I will talk something about chairperson, that okay, now chairperson, the eligibility is changed. Apart from that, when it comes to member, I will say that there are inclusion of 3 more members. Okay, similarly, when it comes to SHRC, I will talk about the same kind of thing as we have discussed in the chairman of NHRC. Apart from that, in term of office, I have told you from 5 years, now it is 3 years. Apart from that, when it comes to union territories, what was the provision with respect to union territories? There was the change that earlier National Human Rights Commission was the only body that you can say that will hear the cases, and that was the, you can say, that was the main jurisdictional body. But now it is a kind of, you can say, nearby state HSR, State Human Rights Commission. Okay, I hope you are getting. And apart from that, the secretary perspective we have covered earlier. It was executive power, now it is administrative plus financial, and judicial power has been excluded. So I hope you are getting this thing. Secretary do not have the judicial power, but NHRC, SHRC, they have the power of civil code. So try to remember these things. And when it comes to the limitation, you can use the keywords that I have already told you. I hope you are getting the way I am analyzing the things. And this is it for this particular news article, and this is something that you should remember for your upcoming examination. This is very important undoubtedly because of the amendment in NHRC and this Protection of Human Rights Act in 2019. Okay, so this is there. Apart from that, one more article is there: 400 suspected virus death unaccounted for mayor. Mayor of which place? Mayor of Pune is talking about this thing, and Pune is again and again in news because of this, you can say, coronavirus. So here you can just remember this thing, that mayor is someone we have covered about the mayor in the previous analysis as well. So here I am not doing it again. What I'm going to do is I will provide the link in the description box. In description box you will get the topic mayor in India, where you will get the private member bill of parliament, as well as the second ARC recommendation with respect to mayor in India. And it was in the news in the month of, I am unable to recall the exact month, but it was in the news in one of the month in this year itself, because of one article published in The Hindu only. Okay, so whatever is being published in The Hindu, the different magazine will cover that thing, and even UPSC has the habit to cover those things in the examination. Okay, so it is our duty so to remember those things. So the link is being given in the description box. You can click on that particular link in order to get the details of this topic. Okay, so today we have covered contempt of the court. I have given you the reference. For mayor I have given you the reference, and we have covered this National Human Rights State Human Rights Commission in very detailed manner, from beginning, from scratch to higher level. Okay, I hope you are getting all the things, and don't forget to get your copy of Public Administration Current Affair magazine. The link I am providing in the description box below. Okay, this is it for the day. Thank you so much and have a nice day.